What spirit connection really feels like, not what the movies have told you. Spirit is here to support you, not to scare you. Okay, so you've felt it, right? You felt the chill down your spine, maybe the goosebumps, maybe you felt like a change in the temperature, or felt like there's something kind of like in the corner of the room, and instantly you go into, what the heck is that? We don't go into awe and wonder and exploration. We actually go into a little bit of fear. Now, of course, this happens for a couple of reasons. The first one is the programming, okay? I always like to talk about the programming because it's been such a crucial part of our reality up until now when we start going into explorations of our own gifts and mediumship. But the second thing is fear. So fear and spirit connection have something in common, and that is the sensing through the body. So the fear that we feel, if we put the programming aside, which we'll talk about a little bit later on, but the fear that we feel is tingles on the skin, a change in temperature, the nervous system shifting, going into our senses, going to our awarenesses. Very similar if we feel something around us that is not ours. This is epic. This is great because fear is something that has been given to us to keep us safe. So what I want to do today is to take you through an activation so you know the difference between fear and communicating with spirit, because not many people can decipher the difference. But it's really important to have both spirit in our life and fear, and to be able to go into wonder and exploration when we have these beautiful, benevolent entities, spirits around us that want to communicate or understand if something is just not correct for us. And there is a difference between fear and spirit communication. So I'm going to go through this today. And by the way, I've never heard anybody else talk about this. So you may be the first one to hear this. So are you ready to go into an amazing activation to unlock the spirit connections, but to also understand what fear is? We don't want to get rid of fear. Fear is a human part of us that is very sacred and special, and it keeps us alive. But how can we walk with the fear and communicate with spirit and maybe throw the conditioning away? Maybe we can get rid of the conditioning. So I'm so glad that you are here. I would also love to know how you've been going with the other videos in this series. You know, you can subscribe. You can watch these videos as many times as you like. So let's get into today's training. If you are not a little bit scared of delving into mediumship, psychic mediumship, all the things to do with spirits and ghosts and the residues and entity clearings and stuff like that, I'd be a little bit worried, because we have been programmed and shown possessions, and like we've got bishops and priests with dowsing, horror movies, you name it, even mediums and on programs going on these like spooky hunts and going into like jails and like asylums and picking up on entities. Now, that shit is scary. That stuff scares the living daylights out of me. So if you're not a little bit kind of like, being discerning, or you're not a little bit fearful, I'd be a little bit worried, because we are opening up into awarenesses where there is good and bad, there is malevolent and benevolent, and it's really important for you to understand the difference between communicating with a healthy, beautiful spirit who is here to serve you and not scare you, versus entities that may be darker, working for darker forces, and the fear that we feel for that is good, because we know what tool to bring in to step away from those energies. And of course, in another video, we will go deeper into entity clearing, how to clear darker energies. But for today, I want to talk about the difference between fear and spirit communication, because I don't think spirit communication is exactly what most people think it is. We often will think we have to see with our eyes, or see with our third eye, or hear like somebody else's voice, or it has to be loud and bold and in our face. And that's why half of us are looking around going, when is it going to pop out? When is it going to pop out? It doesn't happen like that. Not with beautiful spirit who is here to serve us. They do not want to scare the shit out of us. They want to help us. And if it's a spirit that you've known in your life, so maybe it's a family member or someone that you love, they're always going to come in knowing their boundaries, knowing your standards, and they're gonna go knock on the door and go, "Hi, how's it going? You want to have a chat?" They're not going to be bombarding you in the middle of the night because they wouldn't have done that as a human. They love you. They don't want to scare you, and they should be more conscious. They should be more conscious and more enlightened because they've passed over. They've gone through a review of their life, and now they've come back to serve you in a way that suits you, to give you messages or whatever it is, show their love. So why would they scare you? So it's either programming or there's something that maybe we should be a little bit afraid of. And of course, in another video, I'll teach you how to deal with that. So when spirit is present, you're going to feel at peace. You're not going to feel seen or watched, but you may feel like there's something around you. They're never going to bring you fear. They're not going to bring you any type of harm unless it is a conditioning where you are actually like, oh my gosh, I'm having a reaction. Is this fear? I've had these experiences before. And then any loved spirit would just back off straight away. So they're not going to put you in a situation where you feel uncomfortable. You're always going to feel supported. You're always going to feel loved when it comes to spirit. Spirit will always respect your free will and will always come from a space of unconditional love. Spirit will arrive in stillness. It will arrive with signs and synchronicities and like breadcrumbs, okay? So you will get these signs and synchronicities to prep you for the coming of the spirit communication. And this is what we're going to do today. We're going to go through a beautiful activation, a beautiful meditation, so you can feel the subtlety and the love, and you can feel this through the body. Because the thing is, with fear and spirit communication, we get the goosebumps. We get the hairs standing up on the end of our neck, and we can sense that energy is around, like I said before, but one of them has a charge and one of them has a subtlety. And if you've ever experienced spirit, and I would love to know if you have, it is like a warm hug. It's like having a beautiful bath, and it is love. Where if there's something that is not of love, you might still get the prickles, you might still feel the energy, but it's going to be, oh, this isn't safe for me to be here. It is a feeling within the body. So that is the difference between them. And I do want to let you know that you are safe, guided, loved, and protected in this space. So we're going to do the activation very soon. A couple more things that I want to say, so stay around, and then we're going to really open up to how we can bring this into our everyday life. Now, one of the things that's really important before we go into this activation is to understand that you are the strongest entity in your reality. This is something that I literally say 10 times every session of Magnificent Mediumship certification. You are the strongest entity in your reality. So being grounded, being in your presence, being in your awareness, and understanding your empathic gifts, your emotions, as well as your mind, and just really being in the body is going to be your strongest protector. Now, for me, I've got many experiences of light energies and darker energies, but the one thing that I know for sure is that if something darker has ever come along, I've been not available for it. My boundaries and my standards are so strong, and the first thing that I do in Magnificent Mediumship is teach all about boundaries and standards, and basically having a space where we are clean and clear channels. How do we do that? We come into our heart, we open our hearts, and we use gratitude and embodiment, and that is where we get to speak to spirits. Now, if we are light, if we are bright, and if we are in our power and strength, if anything came along, then we could literally just get rid of it with a blink of an eye because we are not available for it. Put it this way. If you wanted to go out and meet friends, right, or you wanted to find a partner and you're dating people on a dating app, or maybe you're going out for dates, or maybe you're going to a group where you're going to potentially make some friends, you're going to sense which people are correct for you or not. You're not just going to go, oh, okay, I'll choose you because you choose me. You're going to be in your power, in your strength, in your discernment, because you know what is correct for you and what is not. You're going to have a standard and a boundary. And if you do start dating somebody, or this relationship with your friend takes off and the boundaries are getting violated, and you realize your standards are completely different and this just isn't working, then you literally step away from the relationship. You don't keep going with it, because that is not healthy for you. So when we're working with spirit, it's an air, it's an aura that we hold that is actually our greatest protection. So if we go and put all these bubbles around us and we're in fear and we don't want to feel anything or see anything, and we think, oh my goodness, I'm just not a medium, the stuff scares the shit out of me, and we're going back to the priests and the possessions and the exorcists and the scary movies, then of course spirit is not going to come near us and not going to give us messages. Signs and synchronicities, sure, if we're willing to receive them, but we must be receptive. We must understand that we are the strongest entity in our reality. So you can put a bubble around you, but that bubble can pop. A bubble won't do anything. If you're like, protect me, I'm in fear. How are we going to be protected if we're in our powerlessness? So I just want you to have a little think about that for a second, a little reflection. If we are in fear and we're like, help me, and we're giving up our power, what do you think we're going to attract? And you can see this in friendships and in relationships. If we're in our powerlessness, if we are in our codependence and we're going, please be my friend, or I don't know what to do, I'm weak, we're going to attract negative energies, just like we can attract negative entities. So I invite you to be in your power and to be in your body, and to do these videos where we're clearing up energy, we're healing the body, we're coming back in, remembering who we are, because to know spirit is to know self. You are the strongest entity in your reality, and nothing can hurt you, and you must hold high standards and high boundaries. And this is something I go much deeper into in Magnificent Mediumship, and we really get into what it means to applying that to our everyday life, because it's all parts of our life. The way we are in one way is the way we are in all ways. So what has landed for you? I'd love to know. Please feel free, if you've had some aha moments, to pop it in the chat box, pop it in the comments, let me know. I would love to see how this is all landing for you. It's a little bit of a whoa awakening. I love this conversation, because sometimes we don't even realize that we didn't know the difference between fear and spirit communication. And they are so subtle. Sometimes we don't know the difference between codependency, powerlessness, and giving it up, right? So it's so important to see our own patterns and to know that to connect to spirit is to know ourselves deeply, and nothing can hurt us, because we are the most powerful entity in our reality. And there you go. I said it 10 times just to anchor that in for you. So are you ready for our activation today? I invite you to take a nice deep breath in with me today, breathing into your belly and breathing out your mouth, and just letting all of those words go. And again, in your own time, breathing in, filling up the belly, the biggest breath you've had today, and breathing out. Making sure you're in a space that's nice and comfortable. Maybe you need a blankie or your journal next to you. Maybe you have to pause the video, make sure you shut the door, tell the family that you're going to be busy for the next few minutes. And I invite you to close down your eyes when you are ready. Take a nice deep breath in again, and just let your energy settle. Let all of the words that have been spoken in this training just drop down around you. You've had some awarenesses pop up from the subconscious, from your experiences. Maybe you've had a wee bit of a perspective shift. but let it all go for now. You can come back to that later if you want to do a deep dive. Dropping your barriers down, down, down. You are safe, you are guided, you are loved, and you are protected. You are the most powerful entity in your reality. Dropping those barriers down, down, down. Breathing into your heart space and coming into the space of gratitude. What are you grateful for today? Maybe it's just the next few minutes of relaxation. Maybe it's your kids, your partner, your work colleagues, the beautiful sunny day. Maybe it's the start of your day or the end of your day. What are you grateful for today? Maybe pop a little smile on your face and expand that heart even more. And on your next breath out, breathe that gratitude through your entire body. That's it. And this is going to lighten your entire body up as we come into the light body, feeling your body getting heavier and heavier into where you sit or lie. I invite you to come into what we call spirit mode, the space between awake and asleep, the space where our inner matrix awakens and comes alive, and our greatest imagination, the dream state, is sitting on the very verge of consciousness herself. And just expanding your energy now from your heart space all the way out to fill up the room. It's safe to expand. It is safe to be seen. It is safe to be light and bright in a high frequency. Expanding your energy now through the house, through the town, city or suburb, around the world and through the world and all the way out to the cosmos. You are now truly in your inner matrix. I want you to visualize that you are in a room of your choice, a room of your color. Maybe this room is in the forest, or maybe it's at the ocean. Maybe it's a room that your body is in right now. Your inner matrix has its very own room. And using your greatest imagination, spend a few moments decorating that room, if you so choose to. I want you now to visualize a door to your left or to your right. Maybe it's in front of you or behind you. What color is this door? How large is this door? Is it wooden? Is it metal? What is the door made of? What does the doorknob, the door handle look like? Are you ready to connect in with Spirit today? This Spirit seat meditation is going to guide you into your inner knowing. It's going to work along with your senses and your mediumship gifts. I want you now to imagine a comfortable chair or space that is beside you. And when you are ready, you're going to invite a loving spirit presence to sit with you. Maybe it's a guide, a past one that you loved. a being of light. So you might notice the door opening now as you invite in a loving spirit into your inner matrix. The door opens and one spirit, and maybe two or three if you so choose to, comes through the door. The door shuts behind them and you invite them to come and sit down in this comfortable chair beside you. You don't need to see them. You can just sense them. They are here to guide you and love you. There's nothing scary about this loving spirit presence. As they sit next to you in this comfortable chair, you may feel the warmth or feel the peace coming from them. Maybe it's a pressure on your shoulder, a memory, or a sudden calm. Maybe even an opening of your heart space. You might see, you might know or feel, but even just a little tingle or a felt sense within your heart space is more than enough. It's a miracle. Let all fear dissipate, all doubt dissipate, all programming and systems transcend, transform, and transmute. Just being here in this space, in your inner matrix room, with this loving spirit presence next to you, in the very special spirit seat. Are there any messages for you to receive today? Just being here in presence and awareness, relaxation and love. Now place your hand on your heart and say, I welcome loving connection. I trust the presence of spirit in my life. Noticing what you notice in your body, contraction or expansion, with no judgment. Your loving spirit will now leave, but just know you can come back into this space whenever you so choose to. The spirit is going towards the door is opening, the spirit is leaving. You are still here in your inner matrix, deeply relaxed and receptive, and knowing that the messages from spirit will unlock as you go through the next few days in divine timing and through signs and synchronicities, and even maybe some dreams, subtle and loving. I invite you now to bring your energy back to your body from wherever you have drifted. Bringing the attention to the space behind your eyes. Noticing the taste within your mouth and what you can hear from your ears. Feeling the breath coming into your body. Feeling the breath leaving your body. Wriggling your fingers and your toes and bringing yourself completely, totally and utterly back into your body, to the room where you are sitting or lying, wriggling your fingers, wriggling your toes, bringing any movement in, and when you are ready, opening your eyes wide awake and energized. Welcome back. Take your time. And I really invite you to get your journal out and just maybe acknowledge, do some stream writing. What did you notice? Was it subtle? Was it a little bit more bold? Did you see anything or feel anything? Maybe just write at the top of your diary, what did I notice? How did you feel? Did you receive any messages today? How did it feel knowing there wasn't any expectation and that this loving presence was in the spirit seat next to you, but there was no expectation of any communication? And of course, you get to do that meditation as many times as you want. I recommend doing it daily if you really desire to turn up those abilities. And maybe invite someone new in each time and just get to know the spirit next to you. Build a rapport. And something I really notice when I'm doing readings in my soul mapping sessions and in Magnificent Mediumship is that I'm not just talking to the sitter, I'm talking to the spirit. And I share that with you because, you know, when we're catching up with friends or getting to know somebody, it's not a full-on expectation to like get everything right straight away. We have to drop our barriers, and that's what we did in this meditation. We drop our barriers down, we open our hearts, we come into gratitude, and we go into exploration. Can we eat a whole elephant? I love this life coaching saying, can we eat a whole elephant? Yes, but only ever one bite at a time. Okay, so it is so important to understand that these are very powerful yet gentle techniques and processes for us to do a lot of deconditioning to come into our soul callings as psychic mediums, as spiritual leaders, as human beings. So I'd love to know what has come through for you today. And maybe you paused the video and did some journaling and you've come back. So you can totally do that if you choose to. But also I'd love to hear from you. What did you see? What did you feel? Was there colors? Was there beings? Was it subtle? Was it intense? Pop it in the comments below and let me know. I'd love to know. And if you know somebody who you think would love this activation, this meditation, you can feel free to send them this video. But make sure you subscribe and put on the bell button for the notifications, because tomorrow is going to be superb and I'm so excited to bring it to you. You've remembered, you have received, you have perceived, and tomorrow we're going to get into clearing the static. This is a real goodie, and I don't see anyone else teaching this stuff, so make sure you come to this because you are not going to want to miss it, okay? We're going to do another activation, but sometimes when we're trying to connect into the spirit, it's nearly like when we're trying to connect there, it's like a telephone call that's getting interrupted. It's like the frequency is shifting and changing, and we can get the ear noises, like the high pitch and the frequency shift, and the radio station's changing a lot, and we need to clear the static. We need to have a real clear channel. So we're going to get into that tomorrow. Please be gentle with yourself, because honestly, you've been doing a lot of shifting. This is a little snippet of what we do in Magnificent Mediumship. But this is extremely powerful and must be integrated. So drink some water, go for a little walk, go stand on the grass, have a little nap, and make sure you nurture your body. Stay present and stay with leading with love always. Until tomorrow,